In this lecture, we are going to start psychometry. In psychometry, we are going to see moist air as a working substance and applications, different applications of the air conditioning and psychometric properties of the air. So first point, moist air as a working substance. So what is the necessity of the air conditioning? Why air conditioning is the important? So what we have to do? We have to provide comfortable working conditions for workers either in industry or office or in research work. That is, we have to provide comfortable working condition or working condition for companies, offices, banks, then school, colleges, or also we require comfortable condition in our home also. So the purpose of air conditioning is to provide human comfortable condition under working conditions such as worker either in industry, offices or in research work. Now how to define air conditioning? So air conditioning is defined as science which deals with supply and maintaining desirable internal atmospheric condition irrespective of external condition. So what we have to do? We have to maintain the internal atmospheric condition irrespective of external conditions. That is, we have to maintain atmospheric condition in industry, offices, banks, school, colleges, homes, or different in applications. So there are different applications of air conditioning. First one is room air conditioning or room air conditioner. Second one is deep freezers. Third one is food display in sweet shops. So there are the displays to show the food in food shops. So there is air conditioning are also used for that purpose. Then water coolers, defense installations, dairy and milk chilling units, railway air conditioning, that is we have to cool the railway bogies. Then fish storages, then export and import ships. Some food products or some products required or some medicines required air conditioning or proper temperature. So what we have to do? We have to provide air conditioning there also in import and export, in jute and cloth industry also, in food preservation, in automobiles, in cinema halls and in shipping malls, ATM and shops. So those are the different major applications of the air conditioning. So now industrial air conditioning provides air at a required temperature and humidity to perform specific industrial processes successfully. So conditioning is important in the industrial applications. So if there is no required, there will, if we are unable to maintain temperature there, so workers are unable to perform their work with maximum efficiency, and there are also problems to the different processes which are carried out by machines. So air conditioning is important in industrial processes also. The psychometry, what is psychometry? Is the branch of engineering science which deals with study of moist air. Psychometry deals with the study of moist air. What is moist air? That is water vapor or moisture contained in the air is called as moist air. So the content of water vapors in air is wholly responsible for comfort air conditioning as a working substance. So with the help of water vapors which are present in the air, we can do air conditioning. So water vapors are responsible for the comfort air conditioning. And now what is moist air? Moist air is nothing but the mixture of dry air and water vapors. Dry air is not available, generally not available in the nature. It is not pure air is a dry air. Dry air is a mixture of all gases. Water vapor are present in the air, so this will not dry air, so it will be air with water vapors. The amount of water vapor present in air depend upon the absolute temperature, absolute pressure and temperature of the mixture. So dry air, natural dry air does not occur because water vapors are present in the air. So water vapor present in the air plays an important role in the air conditioning process. Now we are going to see psychometric properties of the air, in which first property is dry air. So what is dry air? Dry air is the mixture of various gases in the absence of the water vapor. But generally dry air is not available. There are water vapors also present. So see what is dry air. Dry air is the mixture of various gases. So see the composition of dry air, that is nitrogen is 78.03%, then oxygen is 20.99%, that is 21%, argon will be 0.94%, CO2 will be 0.03%, and hydrogen will be 0.01% present in the air, and density of dry air is 1.293 kg per meter cube. So dry air is the mixture of various gases in absence of water vapor. This is dry air. The pure dry air do not occur or ordinarily exist in the nature, because there will be always some amount of water vapor present in the air. So there are water vapors present in the air. If you go in the desert also, there will be some amount of the water vapors are present in that air. In desert also, there is not pure dry air will be present. There will be some amount of water vapor present. So presence of water vapor depends upon two factors, that is absolute pressure and the temperature. Now we are going to see what is moist air. So moist air is the mixture of dry air and water vapor. So this is most important point, that is moist air is the mixture of dry air and water vapor. So the amount of water vapor present in the air depends upon the absolute pressure and temperature of the mixture. So moist air is mixture of dry air and water vapor. Now we are going to see what is saturated air. Saturated air, so see here, the presence of water vapors. So water vapor generally present in the dry air. So presence of water vapor in air depends upon the temperature of air. Now what is saturated air? So the saturated air will be saturated at a particular temperature when it holds maximum possible amount of the water vapor in it. So it is the capacity of that air to hold maximum amount of water vapors. So it can hold maximum amount of water vapors at a particular temperature. That air is called as saturated air. The air is said to be saturated air at a particular temperature when it holds maximum possible amount of the water vapor in it. So there will be capacity of air to contain maximum possible amount of the vapor in it. So it is called as saturated air. So now what is superheated vapor? See here, this is superheated vapor, and in case of temperature of the mixture of air and water vapor is above the saturation temperature of the water vapor, the vapor is called as superheated vapor. Once again, see what is superheated vapor. In case of temperature of the mixture of air and water vapor is above the saturation temperature of the vapor is called as superheated vapor. When temperature of the air and water vapor is above saturation temperature. In third point, there is saturation temperature when it holds maximum possible amount of the water vapor in it. And in case of superheated vapor, the temperature of mixture of air and water vapor is above the saturation temperature of the water vapor. The vapor is called as superheated vapor. Now next point is most important point here. See here what is dry bulb temperature and what is wet bulb. This is dry bulb temperature. Dry bulb temperature is TD or TDB, and wet bulb temperature is TWB. So what is dry bulb temperature? See, dry bulb temperature, what we have to do, take a thermometer, regular, this is thermometer, see here, and this is scale, here will be mercury, And this temperature measured by the temperature of air measured by the ordinary thermometer when it is placed in the air is called as dry bulb temperature. So this is normal temperature or dry bulb temperature. The temperature measured by ordinary thermometer or regular thermometer is called as TD or TDB is called as dry bulb temperature. And what is wet bulb temperature? See here the concept of wet bulb temperature. Here what we have to do, we have to use a thermometer and we have to cover this bulb. See here, this is a bulb in bottom with a wet cloth exposed to air. Take a wet cloth, this is suppose this is wet cloth. Take this cloth and wet it. Now what we have to do, we have to cover this portion with wet cloth. And when the air passes over the wet wick, the moisture contained in the wick or that cloth evaporates and cooling effect produced. Here cooling effect at the bulb will be produced, and the at the equilibrium or after some time the temperature recorded is less than the dry bulb temperature, which is wet bulb temperature. So temperature record after some time, take a wet cloth and cover this bulb with the wet cloth, and after equilibrium condition we have to record that temperature will be less than dry bulb temperature, and that temperature after covering the bulb of the thermometer with wet cloth, the temperature recorded is called as wet bulb temperature. So this is difference between wet bulb temperature and dry bulb temperature. Dry bulb temperature will be always higher than the wet bulb temperature. Now we are going to see 7th property, that is wet bulb depression. So what is wet bulb depression? So wet bulb depression, it is the difference between dry bulb temperature and wet bulb temperature. This is so simple. Difference between regular thermometer temperature and temperature after covering the below bulb of the thermometer with wet cloth. The different temperature, that is difference between dry bulb temperature and wet bulb temperature, is called as wet bulb depression. The wet bulb depression indicates relative humidity, that is it shows relative humidity of the air. This is wet bulb depression. Now what we have to see, we have to see what is dew point. We know what is dew. Due to the dew formation, the different small droplets are displaced on the leaves or any object in the surrounding. So dew point temperature represents the temperature at which condensation of the moisture starts when the air is cooled continuously. When cooling of air takes place, the moisture contained in the air condenses, is called as, and that temperature is called as dew point temperature. We observe dew point temperature or dew in the generally in the winter season, rainy and winter season, maximum in winter season. It equal to the saturation temperature of the water vapor corresponding to its partial pressure as determined from steam table. Here we can use steam table for the moist air or psychometric problems. Now what is dew point depression? Now we have to see the dew point depression here. So what is dew point depression? The dew point depression is difference between dry bulb and dew point temperature. This is D, T, dB and T, dP. That is, it is the difference of dry bulb temperature and dew point temperature. Now we are going to see what is specific humidity. See here, specific humidity, absolute humidity, relative humidity and sensible heat of the air. In specific humidity represents mass of actual water vapor mixed with the 1 kg of air. That is, take 1 kg of air and see how much water vapors are present in that 1 kg of air. This is called as specific humidity. And now what is absolute humidity? Absolute humidity is nothing but the mass of water vapor in a unit volume. Take unit volume of air and see how much mass of water vapor present in that unit volume. This is called as absolute humidity. And now what we have to see relative humidity. So it is the ratio of actual mass of water vapor in a certain volume of moist air at a given temperature to the mass of the water vapor in the same volume at the saturated air at the same temperature. So see here, actual mass of water vapor of moist air at given temperature and at saturation temperature. So relative humidity, it is the ratio of actual mass of water vapor in a certain volume of moist air at a given temperature to the mass of water vapor in the same volume of saturated air at the same temperature. It's called as relative humidity. And now we are going to see what is sensible heat of the air. So sensible heat of the air is the function of dry bulb temperature. Therefore, the heat energy of the air corresponding to its dry bulb temperature is called as sensible heat. See here once again, the heat energy of air corresponding to its dry bulb temperature. Heat energy corresponding to its dry bulb temperature is called as sensible heat. So this is sensible heat of the air. In this lecture, we have seen moist air as a working substance, in which we have seen applications of the air conditioning, and we have seen different properties of the psychometric properties of the air, in which dry air, moist air, saturated air, superheated vapor, dry bulb temperature, wet bulb temperature, then wet bulb depression, dew point temperature, dew point depression, specific humidity, absolute humidity, then relative humidity, and sensible heat of the air. So this is all about this moist air as a working substance and psychometric properties of the air. So thank you everyone for watching this video. If you like my videos, then subscribe to my channel TechnoSource Creation and stay tuned for more updates. Thank you.